50-media, 47 of them with UConn, 2 with Temple, 1 with Cincinnati, and that's it.
Yeah.
Coach, for your last players come up, do you mind us making a couple opening statements on the
No
game?
worries, no worries. Yeah, I thought our kids, we tried to do some things good. It just looked like our second game of the year. And I'm sure Billy would say it looked like his first game of the year. You know, it was early November, and we're all kind of trying to find our footing, figure out who our rotations are, how we're going to play. I mean, we've literally haven't worked. We worked on zone probably 20 minutes because we don't zone. We play man to man. So when teams zone us, I'll take the hit on that. We got to start working. But you know, we're pretty good at what we work on. We don't see a lot of zones. Now tonight, the zone worked as all zones do. Zones work because you miss shots. Not always because the zone is a good zone. You've got to make shots. You know, we played a little bit of zone late in the year, and the reason the zone worked against certain teams was not because we have a great zone. It's because they miss wide open shots. You know, then you'll say, well, Coach, your zone was good tonight. No, it wasn't. Our zone is never good. The other team just missed shots. I mean, Jamal Shedd, if somebody gets in his area code on his next shot, it'll be the first. I mean, he's 0 for 5. You know, he's got to be better than that. You know, if not, then they're going to stay in the zone. Now, if he made his first 2, then Billy probably would have went back man. But why not stay in the zone? We're missing. Stay with it. But what we're usually pretty good at, and we've got to get better, is we've got to get better at rebounding basketball. You know, we missed 32 shots tonight. You know, usually we're pretty good at rebounding about 40% of our misses. You know, St. Joe's, you know, they got down 20 early, and they're not going anywhere. And Billy's got a lot of pride. I've always had unbelievable respect for St. Joe's basketball program, and it started with Phil. I've known Phil a long time, and you know, I think he's one of the best. And Billy is moving that program to the right. They got some good young players. They're going to get better as they go. And we've got some young guys that's got to grow up. You know, Jarris, you know, he had 23 points tonight. That's great. It's great. You know, I don't think anybody in our program is going to ask for his autograph because of that. But he had 8 rebounds. Well, how about getting 18 rebounds? Because he's capable. You know, so we're just going to keep challenging our guys. I don't want them to ever be satisfied. Just keep plugging, keep working. We're still a work in progress, as all teams are in November. I don't know any of us will know what kind of team we have until probably around Christmas.
How much of a concern with the floor conditions there in the second half, in your estimation?
Well, the referees kept calling Billy and I over and asking us about that, but I asked the players, and, you know, those little kids were just kind of smeared it. You know, they had those little round things. And, you know, I mean, they looked like they were making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They were smearing the thing all over the place. So I told our guys, and I recommended it to Billy. I mean, God forbid I tell him what to do. So at this, why don't you have your managers clean the floor up? And I thought it was good. About the 3:27 mark, I think it was Pat Driscoll wanted to call it. And I said, "You're talking about just call it a game?" I didn't think it had risen to that level. But I didn't want any of our kids to get hurt. You know, we both got long seasons. I certainly didn't want any of our kids to get hurt, but I didn't think it was at a point where we needed to call it. What cause is that? Is that the condensation? Is that?
It was the heat and humidity.
Isn't that an oxymoron here in Annpolis? You guys have heat here?
We don't get a hurricane roll through in November.
I mean, I went to see Jarris over in York early October. I think it was last year. I went to see his parents, and I could have sworn it was 30 degrees in October. I mean, what's up with the condensation in November?
Jairus and Marcus, this one's for you. Can you talk about what this whole trip was like and just the experience of being at the Naval Academy and particularly yesterday touring the grounds, and just what was that like for you guys to experience that?
I think it was, one in a lifetime experience. It was a great experience. Just seeing them, it made me respect them, a lot more. The things that they have to do and the things that they, go through every day compared to what we do. And, it just really made me sit back and really thank them even more, more than I did, because, I was there and experienced it and seeing it firsthand.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely agree with him. Like, stuff like that you definitely can't take for granted. And like, one thing I really picked up is like how big of a family they are. Like the honor and commitment that they all have for each other. I feel like that's really awesome. I feel like that's how they accomplish what they do. It's because they believe in each other and they love each other so much that they fight for each other, go to war for their brothers. That was awesome for me.
Coach, as a follow-up to that question, how special of an event was the Vets Classic, and what was it like to bring your team out to Annpolis for this event?
This was a bucket list thing for me. I wanted to take my team to the Naval Academy. I also wanted to take them to West Point. Anytime we have a conflict with other countries, our leadership is coming from those two institutions, the Naval Academy and West Point. But those are the guys that make the decisions. And just a little bit we saw was just great respect. The ship simulator, the heavy, the big trucks, the airplane simulator. Watching 4,400 troops line up and go to lunch. We can't get 200 students to go to lunch orderly, it seems like. But just the discipline. I was here yesterday morning about 7:30 in time to watch them march out for the colors, raising the flag. I think it was half-mast, but Captain Greg Mendenhall was our host. He could not have been more classy and nice and professional. The way he treated us, it was just an honor. Of course we wanted to win the game, but we left here with so much more than just a ball game. And I wanted our kids to see this. That was, and I appreciated our kids' attitudes. We got them up at 7-something yesterday morning, and we were here until what time did we go back after that last speaker? Yeah, about 9 or 10, right? Something like that. I mean, we were from 7-something in the morning to almost 10 at night, and that last speaker was a former SEAL, and his speech was inspiring. We just very humbling. Just can't thank Ed DeChellis and Mr. Gladchuck and the Naval Academy for being so kind and professional to us. It's something our kids will remember the rest of their lives.
Anything else?
Okay, one more. Hey, Coach, did you learn anything more about Jairus tonight? Your second game, and maybe why not 18 rebounds? You think?
He'll get there. He'll get there. Jairus' greatest strength is not from his skill set; it's from his pride. It's great pride. Last game I've never had a freshman that have 6 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds in the very first game of their freshman year. But he went 3 for 14, and I know because of his pride that bothered him. So tonight he goes, 10 for 14. So now he's 13 for 28. He's probably another game away from shooting 50%. But he took good shots. I thought our shot selection overall was pretty good. I thought Marcus passed up some threes he normally takes, but Marcus never takes a possession off on defense. One of the things that people like about Marcus, his offense is there. Nobody's worried about his offense. Marcus is one of the best on-ball defenders in America. He's one of the best I've ever coached. He gets a lot of praise and recognition for his offense, but he is that dude is one tough hombre. now in defense. And Jarris is fortunate to have the leadership in Marcus that he can see how to be a Cougar basketball player. But Jarris is special too. I mean, he's, it's unique having two guys like that care more about winning than they care about anything else.